Welcome everybody to the Town of Cedar Lake Unsafe Building Department.
Right.
This is our, can you hear me? Alright, is it better?
There you go.
Welcome to the Unsafe Building, June 21st, 2023. Meeting will begin at 5:34 p.m. Everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call.
Ms. Rosanich?
Here.
Ms. Bethowers, absent. Ms. Sheehan? Here. Mr. Deutmeyer?
Present.
Mr. Carnahan?
I don't get counted at this.
Ms. Abernathy? Present. Mr. Gatto?
Here.
Ms. Hines is present.
All right, thank you. Can I get a motion to waive the reading of the May minutes?
I accept and waive the reading of the minutes.
I'll second that. Roll call.
Ms. Rosanich?
Yes.
Are we on?
Ms. Sheehan?
Yes. Carries 2-0. Okay, our first unsafe, 13716 Birch Street, Blanton. Hello, Mr. Blanton, how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing good. A little warm.
Yeah, it's warm out.
Roger Blanton, 13716 Birch, that's Birch Street. I live in Lowell, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I've been working over as much as time will allow me at the Birch Street house, cleaning up the outside. I gave Tony an update on what I've got accomplished
Yeah, I've
so
seen it over
far.
there. Oh,
Yeah, I try to give it to him every time, of course.
okay.
And I need to continue on. And I have with me Don, the gentleman that's going to be buying, purchasing the
Okay.
place.
You have the intention to purchase the property? Okay. And Tony, how did the photos look?
I mean, there's cleanup happening,
Okay.
but the reason the cleanup didn't happen in the fall is because of the foliage, and now the foliage is just growing back, so.
Right.
It's something, I mean,
It's
if your
about-
intention is to sell it, you've gotta just
Yeah.
sell it.
Yeah, it sounds like it's more than you can probably handle.
Well, I just hired a good kid. I had people working for me, but they all got jobs and quit. But I've got another guy hired, he's going to Tennessee to vacation next week. Oh, he just texted me a few minutes ago.
Okay, so when do you plan to purchase this property, sir?
I believe Mr. Mr. Glenn still has some items in the house that he needs to clean up in the basement, and he has 2 sheds on the property that he also would like to clean up. So until he gets those 3 items cleaned up, I think.
Okay.
Sir, can you just real quick come up to the podium and please state your name and address for the
Okay.
record?
My name is Donald Johnson. I live at 13711 Birch Street, right across the street from Mr. Glenn's property.
Okay. Ashley, what is the timeline we gave on this last time?
Last month it was a 30-day extension to continue the cleanup, show some type of progress occurring, and for the person intending to purchase the property to appear in front of the board.
Okay. So this is the first time you were before us?
No, I was here.
You were here.
A few months
A
ago.
few months before that, okay. I get them all scrambled. So I guess my feeling is that Mr. Blanton's having a hard time accomplishing what he needs to
Well,
accomplish.
I've had a few issues. My wife broke her hip and
Right.
slowed me down.
Right.
I had the flu. I was sick myself for almost 4 weeks since the last meeting.
Right. No, I understand. When did we begin this process?
Well, I am progressing, so.
I want to say late 21, early 22. Does that sound about right, Tony?
I'd have to look at the day of the report would.
May 19,
May
22.
22.
Okay, so we've been over a year with little,
Yeah.
but not a lot of progress.
Well, ask Tony what I was dealing with. I've got a lot done since that.
I know, but your intent is not to fix the property, but to sell the property, so it's, at this point, it's I mean, you've gotta
Okay,
just concede to that.
well, gonna have a little more time to go ahead and
That's,
get into sheds.
Ryan, do you have a recommendation on this?
And I don't know that we've ever run title or issued any unsafe orders on this one. I believe it's probably because Mr. Blanton has
Well,
continually been
actually-
here to give us updates. I mean, if the intention is to sell it, it sounds like it's progressing that way. Maybe a short extension of time, but Mr. Johnson, do you have any idea as to what your intentions are with the property?
I plan on rehabbing the house, fixing it up to its natural state, maybe doing a few improvements, working with Tony here and getting the house back livable.
And you understand that you're taking the house subject to these proceedings, right? So you're going to be the one that's going to be here
Exactly.
every single month,
Yes.
answering to the board. Because it doesn't seem like, you know, the progress for at least the property itself, not the surrounding shrubberies and stuff like that, is actually occurring. So I would imagine that, given the board's sort of prerogative on this, typically is they're going to want action, and they're probably going to want you here back pretty regularly. Just as long as you are aware of that, then, I mean, you sort of know what you're up against. And I assume since you live in the neighborhood, you're at least familiar with the property and sort of what the process is going to be. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Just a question. I'm gonna be doing most of the work myself. Maybe a couple contractors here and there, but basically, it's a small house, only 1,000 square feet, which isn't a lot, in my opinion. What kind of timeline are we looking at?
I don't know, I mean, I'm willing to work with people as long as there's progress,
Okay.
but, you know, this is, and I understand Mr. Blanton's had a lot of help in situations, I do understand that, that's why we've let it go for over a year at this point. The property itself, besides the house, I don't even know the condition of the house, really, I've seen pictures, it is repairable?
I believe it is. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, Mr. Blanton, what do you think to get those 3 areas that this gentleman wanted cleaned out so he
Probably
could
within-
buy it?
I would hope within 60 days, no more.
There you go, Roger's willing to help you clean it out.
I just hired one, but, yeah. I need no money. Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, so,
If he's looking at if he's talking about 60 days or more, I would give no more than 60.
oh, I
Just
wouldn't keep, yeah,
with how
I
long
kinda
it's
like to
been-
see progress in 30. Just because it's been over a year.
Oh, there was one additional thing. I sprayed around the house, so no rodents or anything like that will come around, bugs, any of that. All natural though.
Just so we're clear, is it 60 days to get your stuff out, or 60 days to ultimately sell the property to Mr. Johnson?
Oh, no, to get the stuff out. I've got a realtor I'm dealing with. Or maybe I don't even have to go to a realtor, I can just go and do the closing.
So do you have any idea when you would actually transfer title to this gentleman?
Well,
I'm ready, I
Don't be
still have to inspect the foundation,
he'll
but,
be ready anytime.
yes.
Just write it up and move.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, my concern is now your time frame gets extended out further.
No, I know. So I'm kind of thinking 30 days to get the areas cleaned up. And then at the next meeting, knowing that it's cleaned up and that this gentleman's ready to purchase.
I mean, or, certainly I don't disagree with that, and obviously it's your prerogative. The other thing that, you know, we've requested of individuals in the past is, I believe, Mr. Bowman, we did this out, was for him to come in with some sort of plans. Now, I understand Mr. Johnson doesn't own the property yet, but if that is ultimately the intention and they're going that way, it's something that certainly our suggestion to the board would be is that you require him to come in with sort of a time frame
and a plan of what is going to happen with the house.
Correct, to at least keep the process moving. I mean,
Right.
If we just keep punting it, then
Right.
we're going to still be here in
We're gonna be
December
here.
talking about the same thing.
Well, I think the other is they're even discussing, Mr. Blanton saying he's working with a realtor and the other gentleman maybe not a realtor, so I don't know that we really have a plan on the purchase
I don't think
either.
I even need a realtor, I could just go to the closing, I bought property before.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, but it doesn't sound like you guys have fully connected
No, we
on what
haven't
you wanna
thought much
do.
about it.
So we probably need, the clean out, and we need to know what's happening with the purchase, the timeline, and the plan for the property.
30 days
Because
for cleanup,
the property
45
has
for the agreement.
obviously for over a year not been safe, and it needs attention, so, direction, Ryan?
Certainly, I think the 30-day extension is probably warranted for Mr. Blanton to get his things out of the property. And I would suggest that they both return here to at least give us an update as to what the transfer
Transfer,
timeline is going to be. And
And
if it's a
plan.
long, drawn-out process,
right.
when
not
we're
gonna
here in
work.
July,
Right,
then I think it's time to just move forward and...
move forward with something else.
Mhm.
Okay, so Donna, do you understand that?
Yep.
Would you like to make a motion?
I'd like to motion to defer for 30 days.
And is there-
With the cleanup and the removal of your possessions.
And
to
plan,
bring in a plan and
to see where they're at with the
see where
purchase.
you're at with the purchase of the property.
Okay, so we will see you guys at the next
Wait
meeting.
a second.
We
Is there a second to that?
Oh, sorry, I'll second that. Roll call.
Mr. Rosanich?
Yes.
Ms. Sheehan?
Yes. Carries 2-0. And what is the date? I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me.
It is July 19th.
July, so we'll see you back here July 19th. Hopefully we'll have the clean out that needs to happen done. Roger's willing to help you, that's great. And a plan for purchase and what your intentions are after purchase, okay?
And if you guys have a signed contract to purchase the property, sell the property, I would certainly suggest that'd be worthwhile bringing
Okay,
for us to always have.
All right, thank you so much.
thank you. Next week, we'll start back to work.
All right, second we have 9320 West 142nd Avenue. Jane Gardens. Is anybody here for that property?
So this one was the formerly Pam Broadway property. Last month, she had talked about the property had sold, but I had no confirmation on Lake County GIS that it had. Recently, it did show up that the property had in fact actually closed. The new property owner has now shown up on GIS, and we did run an updated title last month.
Okay, so can we request maybe for them to come to the next meeting?
That would be my recommendation, since we do now have proof of ownership, at least on Lake County GIS,
Sure.
that we send a notification to the property owner and get them in front of here to hopefully get this house.
Okay. So if I need to make a motion?
Yeah, and just so you know, we have ordered the update from Fidelity. I talked with them again today. They said they should have it within a couple of days.
Okay.
So by the next meeting, we'll have updated title work on it, and if NWI Casas LLC fails to appear, then we'll be ready to move forward on a demo order.
Okay.
When you want it to be here.
Right, so to make a motion for.
All right, I motion to communicate to the new owner to have them here at the next meeting, July 19th.
I'll second that.
And is this also a 30-day deferral then?
Yes, 30-day deferral.
Is that part of your motion, Donna?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Mr. Rosanich?
Yes.
Ms. Sheehan?
Yes, motion carries 2-0. Okay. Next, we have 7308 West 138th Place, Binions. Do we have anybody here for that?
He is not present online, but he had communicated with me that he was going to be out of town for work, so he may not be able to make the Zoom. He had his contractor forward me some pictures this morning of the garage area is down, and it looks like they've cleaned up the foliage, greenery in that area.
So there's been progress.
There has been progress.
Okay. So,
He says he requests a 60-day deferral because he's still getting estimates and quotes from contractors to determine what to do with the house.
Okay, how long has this been, do we know?
Uh,
in
December recent one.
2022.
Yeah, December 19th was when Tony made his report.
Okay. So not quite as long. Your thoughts, Ryan?
I mean, if there's actually been some noticeable progress on this one, and they've got rid of one of the structures that, based upon the pictures, was falling in upon itself.
Right.
You know, in the past, you guys have given a little bit of leeway to owners that have done those types of things. So maybe a 60-day deferral is warranted in this situation, but, you know, you've also done 30-day deferrals in that situation. It's
Right,
whatever
right.
you guys feel is appropriate.
He was here at the last meeting.
He's been to every unsafe meeting to my knowledge. I don't think he's missed one.
Okay. And the picture showed clearly cleanup in the garage now.
My apologies, I forgot
That's
to
okay.
get him loaded
Fine.
on the iPad, but I can pull him up and show you if you'd like.
No, I trust you. All right, I really don't like the 60-day
I don't
deferral.
either, I was just gonna say.
Well,
Has Tony, have you been out there? Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, no, if they just started work on it today, is that correct?
They took it down yesterday morning.
Yesterday?
Yeah, and the
Okay.
deadline.
So
I'm gonna-
it's December.
Yeah. He makes the motion, Donna.
Yeah, I'm gonna motion to defer for 30 days.
I'm gonna second that motion. Roll call.
Mr. Rosanich?
Yes.
Ms. Sheehan?
Yes. Motion carries 2-0. All right, next we have 13013 9th Street / 13006 Whitney Place, Shades. I'm not sure, what is this one?
That's the, Kubiak Properties house that, they pulled the demolition permit, I believe.
House is demolished,
The house is gone.
yes.
Okay, well, that's good news. So can we move that we don't even need update, do we?
You can move it to an update because the sewer hasn't been capped yet, so
Okay.
the demo permit is not closed out yet.
Okay, so.
You just make a motion to move
Motion
to
to
the
move
update.
it to the update. So it'll go to an update.
All right, I motion to move it to an update.
I will second that motion. Roll call?
Mr. Rosanich?
Yes.
Ms. Sheehan?
Yes. Carries 2-0. That's an update. Okay. 11104 West 133rd Avenue, Rashawn Andrew Rose Sims.
No, just Andrew Reha.
Okay. Hi, sir, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
I'm Andrew Reha. I live at 427 West Oakley Avenue, Lowell, Indiana. I'm the owner of 11104 West 133rd Avenue,
Okay.
so.
And where are we at?
Thank you for not changing the meeting time on me again.
It'd be 5:30.
So, yeah, it's just last time it was 6, but you guys changed it and I didn't know, so I was a half hour late. So I've had a couple setbacks. The big one is I can't touch the garage right now. I found the upstairs is home to a nest of vultures. They're federally protected. So I'm not going to be able to do anything with the garage until I can verify the birds have migrated.
I know nothing about migratory birds.
Yeah, so actually, 16 UFC 703 to 712. The big one is, so Title 16 USC Chapter 7, Subchapter 2, Section 703 and 704. The big one's about the migratory bird.
Yeah, there's definitely a
Well,
federal
there's
law
some about
that,
'em. We know that.
that deals with
I
migratory
don't know
birds.
too. I mean, I'm not an expert. Yeah, I'm not an expert. Actually, I'm still waiting for the Federal Wildlife Service to return my call. But, so I found out they're federally protected, so I've been digging, I found out a little more information. So I have the garage empty, except for the second floor. I can't do anything, I can't disturb them, because I'm not going to federal prison over birds. So I have so the first floor of the garage is empty. Minus, my grandfather's workbench is still there, and I got a little bit of trash in the corner, but nothing major. That I'll clear out, obviously, during, before, prior, or while the garage comes down, but I have to wait till the birds are gone on the garage. I think it's gonna be okay if, so what I was thinking about doing is, if it's within the purview of my permit, I was thinking I'd like to repair the garage doors, so that I just don't have the plywood over the garage and all that stuff, so it looks a little better. You know, that way at least I do something with it until I know the birds are gone, and then I can get the windows closed up so nothing comes back, and then I can get the garage down after that.
And did we say last time, I think, that that back room off the house was down?
It was.
Okay, so that's
Yeah, the
down.
porch is down.
We have any other pictures?
And did we,
That's what he,
are you planning to take the whole house down or refurbish?
Yeah, I've been trying to get estimates. Actually, I've had better luck in the last few weeks. I've talked to
Okay.
4 or 5 responsive contractors
Okay,
that are telling me they're gonna give me bids.
okay.
So I'm hoping to be able to progress on the house, within the next month. My second setback, especially because this last month, I had another break-in. I don't know if they brought crowbars, they ripped the board off the back, and I gotta clean the house again. But so my plan is right now, I wasn't going to, because all the contractors told me I'd be wasting my time to empty the house if I was just throwing stuff away.
Right,
But I'm gonna go ahead, I'm planning on working to, I wanna go ahead and get the house emptied. That way, if I'm dealing with the break-ins, it's an empty house, I can do whatever, but I don't have to clean it. And then, I wanna continue cleaning, and cutting back some of the foliage. I found the neighbor gave me another tree by the garage, so I got a tree I gotta clean up. I have another part of a tree that I gotta clean up, so I'm working on cleaning that stuff up. That type of stuff. And that's why too, like, just so it's a little bit better or whatever, that's why I figured, I'd probably fix the door in the garage or whatever, since I gotta kinda leave it till I know the birds are gone.
Secured in some way, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right now I put the plywood up, so I think what I'm gonna do is probably end up, fixing the doors and stuff. That way it's secured and better, and then I know it's empty, and, the birds will be fine until I can take care of that.
I got you.
so,
I actually have, I have 2 estimates on the well. One of them is supposed to give me a firm estimate this week, or probably early next week, because tomorrow's the end of the week. So I'll probably get the well taken care of, as soon as I know between the 2 who I'm gonna use. I've talked to a couple contractors to get estimates to get the sewer capped. And then, so depending on that and the time frames, I'll probably do that. I figure I have time to do it before, during.
That'll typically happen in conjunction with the demolition.
Right, yeah, but I figure at least I'll have the bids and I can decide who I'm gonna use for it. And then, like I said, I'm waiting for like 4 or 5 bids on the house right now. I just talked to a gentleman today. He told me that he could probably get me an estimate right after the holiday.
okay,
So it looks like hopefully, with that stuff, I should have a better idea in 30 days.
30 days.
Because then the other thing I found out I didn't know, one is NIPSCO won't talk to me right now because the service isn't in my name. But they did tell me it's 3 to 4 weeks to get the electric removed. So I'm probably looking at 3 to 5 weeks to get the electric out of the
disconnected or,
Yeah, well, right now, so I had to have my aunt call because the service was in her name. To disconnect, and then once it's disconnected, well, now she told me NIPSCO's supposed to call me within 5 business days about the disconnect, and then once it's disconnected, I can call NIPSCO to request the line to be retired,
okay.
which is 3 to 4 weeks, so.
Okay, sounds like you run into a few hurdles.
I can't.
Andrew, what agency did you contact?
So I started with the Indiana DNR.
Yeah, they're not gonna do anything for you.
No, they were helpful though. So they referred me to our district wildlife biologist. So I called him. Really nice guy. He returned my call. I talked to him a little bit. He said since it is a federal matter, he directed me to the United States, the USDA Wildlife Service.
Yeah, Fish and Wildlife, okay.
So I have that, I called, and I've left messages, I'm waiting for them to return my call. But also, I actually called Purdue, Because nicely, Purdue has some nice benefits for us common folk. But I contacted Purdue University, their extensions for their wildlife services. And actually, I spoke with, there was a lady that actually called me this morning, and I emailed her a picture of the birds.
Okay.
And probably within a half hour, they called me back, and she was able to get someone to verify and confirm for me that they're actually turkey vultures. And based on their size in the photo, they estimate that they probably start flying in a couple months or so, like 2-3 months. Which will be good because then hopefully by fall they're gonna, leave to go migrate. You know.
Unless
And
they
then-
like it a lot.
Yeah.
Like your garage.
So, right, and then she did tell me it should be fine, once I can verify there's no activity, that they're gone, that I'm okay to clean up and close up the windows,
Okay.
so they can't come back. So.
Sounds like a mess.
Yeah.
It is, and you know what, I haven't been upstairs in there probably since I was 7 years old. I don't know the last time anybody went upstairs. And, I never seen nothing like that in my life. And, I opened the door upstairs and I leaned in and I just heard something hissing at me.
And they're big.
Cause then I was looking and I guess apparently the vultures, they don't have vocal cords, so they can't make sound.
Okay.
So typically they hiss.
Oh, interesting.
And I've never seen any bird that looks like that in my life.
Oh, I see them all the time.
Yeah,
By the ball.
they're ugly.
They're ugly.
Yeah.
They're super ugly.
Yeah.
But they are protected.
So, yeah, I'm just glad the mom wasn't there, because she probably would have chased me down the
Oh,
street.
yeah, she probably would have. So,
I have one question for you, sir.
Yes,
In
ma'am.
this picture of the garage where there's stuff everywhere, you're saying the only thing left is your grandpa's tool bench and a bag of trash, that's it?
Yep,
Oh.
yeah,
well-
downstairs. So, and luckily, and when I did
thought
see,
You said garage, no?
well, it's the downstairs.
Downstairs, right.
The birds are upstairs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that I got.
And luckily though, I did see, because I was afraid, because like I said, I don't know the last time, I was terrified that.
No, I
the floor
think
was
that's
ceiling-
great, because this was a mess, and you have it cleaned up, so.
Yeah, so no, it's,
kudos to you.
yeah, and luckily for me, upstairs, it looks like there's only like 3 or 4 things I'm gonna have to clean up. It's not packed full of anything, so I was happy about that as well.
yeah, sure.
All right, cool.
So, but yeah, the downstairs is empty except for those couple things. And like I said, now that I gotta wait on the birds for the garage, I figure I'm gonna fix the doors better to secure it, and all that.
But you think you should have a quote here soon?
Yeah, I'm hoping well, tomorrow's Friday, I'm hoping I should start seeing quotes before the holiday.
Okay.
Or definitely right after.
So, I'm thinking 30 days just to see if you could actually have somebody that's gonna do it, and I know it's hard to hire people right now, so I understand that. But just to see where everything's at, see where the birds are.
Yeah, I'm fine with 30 days.
See what the birds are at. We can bring them to your house, Colleen.
We
No, that's a federal crime too.
So, if you don't mind, just coming back here on
No,
the
yeah, I'm fine with
19th
that,
July,
yeah.
just to kind of let us know where everything's at.
Yeah,
If
I'm fine with
we're
that.
getting it out, or if you found somebody to contract.
Yeah,
So, what do you think?
My
That's fine.
motion for 30-day extension,
sure, yeah.
here's the
Okay.
next meeting.
I'll second that. Roll call.
Mr. Rosanna?
Yes.
Ms. Sheehan?
Yes. Motion carries 2-0. All right, sir, we'll see you on the
Okay,
19th.
thank you, ma'am. And also,
Thank you.
thank you for the list of vendors. It's incredibly been so helpful. There was actually a couple on there I didn't think of, and then I just called and be like, hey, can I get an estimate for this or that? And it's been a big help, I appreciate it.
Good.
So, thank you.
We can help. We're happy to.
Okay.
For the record, I did not have the Federal Migratory Bird Treaty Act on my bingo card tonight. A little disappointed, I'll be sure to include that.
We do. Okay. Next, we have 13947 Hobart Street. That is Elise Willard and Naomi. Is there somebody here for that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm here on behalf of Mr. Weiss. He couldn't make it today due to illness.
Okay, better.
So, at this juncture, which I have some documentation I would like to...
Mr. Dargo, before you proceed, can you name an address for the record?
Name and address for, there's a lot of them.
Your name.
My name, I'm sorry, I'm already here, and Attorney David Argo, on behalf of Patrick Weiss, 5985 East 1050 North Lamont, Indiana, 46310. It's our
That's okay.
office. So at this juncture, we have a complaint for quiet title filed with the courts. We've serviced Mr. Sadler. He's the respondent in this action. I think I informed you guys prior that there was trouble with the title due to an improper and fraudulent conveyance by the respondent in this action. We've had troubles getting a hold of them, so we've had to do a summons by publication. The Lake Superior Court has informed us that they're going to be setting the matter for hearing either in the next 30 days or so. So I expect this matter to get resolved rather quickly, but I have all the requisite documentation if you'd like me to provide a copy too.
Yeah, I looked at the docket, and I saw that he was served on what, like December 22nd?
Yes, and
So why are you going by publication if you've already served him?
So we serviced him in the past, but he's kind of taken off since then, and the courts deemed that prior service, I guess, wasn't sufficient in that regard, so now
Did
we're
he
doing...
personally sign it because somebody else did?
Yeah, so now we're doing summons by publication,
Good.
which we already have on file with such, but...
Yeah, but then you gotta publish,
Mm-hmm.
what, 3 times?
Yes.
Once a week?
Yes.
And then they have 30 days from the last publication, so that puts you at least 51 days out. But you need the court to
We
permit the
tried to
publication.
go through the recorder's office alone. We've done so, I can't even count how many numerous filings we sent over to them, affidavits of devolution and the like, gone through all the prior deeds and made all the connections, but at this juncture, the court, we just need the redress of the court. We need an order from them. Yes,
But I'm just saying, by the time you get publication, you're,
yeah.
plus their time to respond, you're at least 51 days out,
Yes,
now more.
I would agree with that assessment.
Just for the board's information. So if you bring him back in 30 days,
Yeah, there's no
he's gonna tell you,
Yeah,
we're still waiting on
Still waiting,
publication to
for
be
sure.
fixed.
Okay, you still, 60, 90? Brian?
Did the court grant your request for publication?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So
it's
I
already signed
assume,
off on.
so it's, I assume it's sent off or is getting sent off to the publisher?
Yes, we've already sent it off to the public.
Which of course takes, you're at their schedule, so I assume it's probably gonna be published next week?
Yes, that'll be the first publishing.
So probably, if you got your first publication out, I'm just arbitrarily picking a date. The 28th, a week from today, you would publish on the 5th and the 12th. They would have 30 days from then, which would take you into roughly August 11th.
Yes.
Our meeting is August 16th, so by August 16th, you would know if somebody's going to appear, or certainly if you had filed a motion for default.
Yes, certainly.
So yeah, 60
Okay,
days
60
until the
days,
August
60.
meeting is probably
Okay.
sufficient.
Okay, that's August 16th. Is that at 5:30 or 6?
5:30.
5:30 now? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I motion for the 60-day extension.
Okay, I will second that, defer for 60 days. We'll see you on August 16th.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Roll
Charles,
call.
if you get that stuff, you can just email it to me, and then you don't have to come on up here.
Oh, absolutely. Okay.
Unless you like coming up, I don't know. It's up to you.
As much as I love driving up here and seeing the festivities going on, I'll surely email it back.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Get personal.
Ms. Rosanich?
Yes.
Ms. Shebeck?
Yes, motion carries 2-0. 7109 West 128th Avenue, Luigi Casinas.
Yes.
How you doing this evening?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. Welcome all. How's everybody doing?
We're here, we don't have birds.
What's on?
Yes. Who knows what Luigi's got?
Okay, there's, just a couple things. My name's Roger Hayward, 6721 145th here in Cedar Lake. And, who are you?
I'm the partner.
Is this the party you were talking about?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Holes, we had to dig some holes to expose the foundation. We had a meeting last month with Tony and company. He told us a couple things that he wanted to see over there.
Okay.
We got some holes dug today, but I learned today that we didn't dig deep enough. So we're gonna go a little bit deeper with them so we can see more.
See more of the foundation.
Of what's there. The floor is out, so you can see what's going on in there.
That's on, you're speaking about 7105 though. 7109, we just needed to confirm that the site had been cleaned up, which I looked at it today when I was out there, and landscaping has been trimmed back. The tree that had fallen on the house has been removed, and the grass is
Oh, I'm sorry.
being maintained, so.
Yeah, there were two properties, what?
7109 is the one that was originally, the report was made, that we began on. 7105 is the one that had fallen off sometime during COVID.
Right, so we decided to bring that one back on.
Right, which
Right.
they're speaking on 7105 right now.
Right, okay. So on 7109, it's been cleaned up,
Mhm.
but I mean, it's still in poor shape.
Right, that was the concern with the last meeting, though, has the site been cleaned up, so.
Right.
That's, I'm just covering
What's
that.
the intention with
It's ready to move,
7109?
it's ready to, as soon as 05 is, being worked on,
Right,
I'd like to continue on with 09, probably at the same time.
so your intention is to fix them both up?
Oh,
And you're gonna help, Roger? Okay.
Colleen,
Okay.
if memory serves me, if I may, I think at the last meeting, at least as I understood your guys' plans, was 7105 was smaller, or was just a smaller project, and the intention was to do 7105 first,
To get it done.
to then be able to get a mortgage or to secure it, take
Okay.
a mortgage out
And
against
then
that
go over
property,
to
to
09.
use the money to repair 7105.
Okay, so and progress has been made at 09, that's one we're on right now.
Correct. Our
Okay.
exterior is cleaned up and it's secured.
Secured and
Right.
cleaned up, and you're gonna keep it clean all summer, mow and all that stuff.
I don't want no vultures.
No, I don't think so. I don't see 05 on here.
It is, it's number 2 on potential unsafe.
Okay,
We've had an uptick in inspection since the last meeting, and I don't think Tony's had a chance to get it done yet.
okay.
No, I mean, we've been out there, like Roger said, we did a site inspection and kind of got all on the same page as far as the structure of the house, but we don't want to go any farther with a permit or anything until we can verify that there is a foundation that is legitimate and is gonna be okay.
And that probably will be done before the next meeting?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So then, that being said,
Defer for 30 days?
I'm fine with that.
Okay. I motion to defer for 30 days till the next meeting in July.
Okay, I'll second that and
Not July.
come back with your update. Okay?
Thank you.
What can we do to, well,
By mistake.
speed it up a little with, I know that, well, I mean, that we're gonna work on it, though, but say we get it done in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Then you just get a hold of Tony and he goes out there.
He'll come on and have a look, and if
Okay.
he gives us permission, we'll get a permit and get moving.
All right,
Okay? So yeah, as soon as you make them happy,
yes.
then you can move on.
Okay.
All right, then we'll see you July
All right,
19th.
July 19th.
July 19th at 5:30. I second that deferral.
Okay.
Roll call?
Ms. Rosanich?
Yes.
Ms. Sheehan?
Yes. Motion carries.
Thank you,
2-0.
guys.
Have a good evening,
You too.
everybody.
And, Madam Chairman, just for the record, there's a second property that we noted, the 7105, that's on potential unsafe. I don't know if you wanted them to stay to discuss that here in a little bit, or if their discussion there is sufficient for
7109?
7105.
Okay.
05 is the one that was first before the board.
Right, okay.
That got
So,
lost in the
I
depths of
see
COVID.
maybe they got a little combined here. So 7105 is the one that they're gonna go dig out the foundation deeper and get with Tony. So I'm gonna put them both, I need to do them separately, so that's.
Yeah, but that's, it's just a separate line item, so I just want to point out that, like, if they're leaving, if you guys are good with that, we've talked about it. We know, sort of, I assume you want them to track together.
Yes.
But I just didn't know if you needed any more comments from them.
I think I know what
I think
the plan is,
yeah.
as long as they know, that we're just gonna next month visit both of them, make sure where we're at.
We'll have Tony down between now and then.
Okay.
Right, let us know we're good to go to the permits on 7105, I think. Okay?
Yep.
And then, that's it.
Yep.
Thank you
Sounds
for that.
good.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Okay, 14617 Lee Street, Nicholas Linden.
I'm Nicholas Linda from 147 Lee Street.
Mm-hmm.
This is my first time here.
It is your first time here.
Thank you.
Looks like there's been some complaints on the front porch of the house.
Okay. My intention is to actually rebuild it, although I didn't realize quite how bad it was because we don't really use the porch.
Right,
So we actually cleared away the bushes in the last week or so.
okay.
I don't know, do I just submit for a permit, or I really don't know what to do next?
So I assume, Tony, it's
Submit a
rebuildable, correct?
Similar to what Mr. Raha did for his demo of the back of that house where the porch was falling off. This is just the front of the house, so.
Right,
Submit
right.
a permit for the demo of that, demo and rebuild, or the demo of that porch, and when you decide how you want to
I was
rebuild.
gonna say, I've got an idea of what I wanna do, but I haven't drawn the plans yet,
Okay.
so.
If it's to the same size, I don't think we have an issue with that. If the size changes, we would need a survey showing the setbacks and
Yeah.
and the sizes.
Like I did with when I made the back porch larger?
Correct,
Okay, so just the same process, just submit for the permit?
yes.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, he just needs to get a permit and tear down. And then if it's gonna be a different size, come back,
I mean, it can be on the same permit, tear down and rebuild.
tear it down, and rebuild.
So-
Yeah, the rebuilding though is beyond our purview, right? Our
Right,
purview
that
is
goes,
only
yeah, that goes
getting rid of the
back
unsafe
there.
part.
Yeah,
Right.
so all I need to do is follow up with the tear down. So,
And Tony,
how long do you
is it
think
just-
from the time you get the permit that you could get it torn down and cleaned up?
Hopefully not very long.
Are you thinking 30 days, 60 days, what are you thinking?
Can we do 60, just to give me a little wiggle room?
Yeah, that's the first time you're here, absolutely, I think that's fair.
And traveling for work.
Donna, what do you
I
think?
really screwed that
The
up.
only thing is, we're gonna advise it from October.
Hmm?
I'm just talking to myself, and what's in October?
The report was made back
The
in
report,
October,
it
but
didn't show up actually here.
we've
He
had
wasn't
quite an
requested to.
extensive list
Oh.
of unsafe items.
Yeah, so this is the first
one.
one.
Okay, gotcha, that's, fine, yes, okay.
So,
I will, motion.
Before you do that, just so we're clear for the record,
yeah,
the only part of this property that is unsafe, correct me if I'm wrong, Tony, is just the porch, right?
Correct, currently.
Yeah.
So once he fixes the porch, actually, once he gets the porch off, then, for all intents and purposes, our
we're done.
guidance over it is gone.
Right.
Right,
And then it's purely just a building department issue.
yeah, then you're dealing with the building.
That's how I read the report, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, that's my understanding, that was the complaint, and that's
It
what
was
she filed.
noted in the report that
Right,
maintenance and upkeep of the house will have to be performed. There's some, there's some, I guess, issues with, if I remember correctly, just soffit fascia,
Yeah.
siding, stuff like that. I don't want the entire house to end up on the unsafe list, so
Right.
just general maintenance and repairs.
Yeah, I've got a roof in my future too,
Okay.
unfortunately.
so,
And I'm sorry to jump in one more time.
that's okay.
Are you ready?
Is this, I know you guys have done time limitations on demo permits in the past, right? Typically for full houses. This is a much smaller job that
Right.
you can accomplish without any real heavy equipment. And you're giving him, at least as I understand the discussion, the talk is of 60 days. So do you want to put a time limitation on that demo permit, or is it just a general permit?
No, I would put a time limitation on the demo permit of 60
Okay.
days.
Yes.
That's kind of what we've done in the past, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing, so that actually happens, and we're not just
So,
Mhm.
60-day extension for the
Yeah.
demo permit?
So, yeah,
Well, he hasn't applied for a permit yet, so
Right.
the motion would be to defer this matter and to direct the building department that once he's applied for a demolition permit, that the
It'll
permit be
60 days.
issued for 60 days.
Yeah, the permit be issued for only 60 days once
Okay.
he goes in
All
and
right,
gets
all
it.
right. So I
But you
will-
intend to go get one right away, correct?
Yeah,
If I may,
Yeah,
what we've done with projects, maybe similar to Mr. Blanton's house, where they don't know what they're dealing with until they do the interior demo. We have issued a demolition-only permit, and then when the permit is issued to rebuild, we credit that demo cost onto,
the next
from the...
one, so that
Right.
you can go inspect before the rebuild.
Well, they can be separate permits that way, so you can put a term limit on his demo, and then his rebuild would be a separate permit that doesn't have that, it's gonna have a 12-month term like our regular building
Regular
permit.
permit.
Yeah,
So
the
that we're
rebuild
not
again,
intermixing,
Okay.
whatever, doesn't
we're
matter.
not intermixing different terms.
The two, right. So, I would be
For
looking
the
for a motion
60
for
days.
a 60-day demo permit.
Demo permit, okay. I motion for a 60-day extension for the demo permit.
Okay, but, so, along with that, we probably would want to
Defer
have
this
him
back.
back
Yeah.
to
Yeah, so
August
defer it for
15th.
60 days.
Yes,
Right, so
and
we're-
for you to come.
With a deferral of 60 days, so you would appear back here August 16th.
Correct.
To report back where I am.
Yeah.
Although, you will see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so will Donna,
Yeah,
we live on the
yeah.
same street.
We do.
So we're clear, the motion is a 60-day deferral, and
And
to
then
direct the
it's-
building department that once he's applied, the demo permit be issued for a term of 60 days.
Yes,
Yes.
Did I take the words right out of your mouth,
You
Donna?
took them right out.
I knew it.
Yes.
and I'll second that. Nick will get the permit and we'll see. If I see it's down, I'll talk to Tony.
How do I apply for the demo permit?
You just go to town hall, right,
Same way.
Ashley?
Yes.
It's the same way as the
Same way
building
they
permit,
work.
you just put demo on the top
Okay.
instead of deck
Instead
or,
of the more detailed, what I plan to.
you just put demolition of the deck on the top. If nothing else, when you come in, you can ask to talk to me and I'll help you get the permit filled out.
Okay.
All right. All right, I'll second that motion. Roll call.
Ms. Rosanich?
Yes.
Ms. Sheehan?
Yes. Motion carries 2-0. All right, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Okay. Now we're on to the potential unsafe items. 13941 Moore Street.
So as I was talking about earlier, inspections have been up and permits have been up on remodels and stuff like that, so both inspectors have been quite busy the past month, so.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
There's other reports in the shared unsafe folder that have been in there for a few months too, that,
Sure.
we can,
You can only
moving
just
through the
work
process
and
in
get
the, in a proper order, I guess, or in the order they've been done, or however, so.
So, we're just gonna skip past that one right now?
And defer it.
Okay, so make a motion to defer that one. 13941 Moore.
I make the motion to defer 13941 Morse until next meeting in July, July 19th.
Okay, I'll second that motion. Roll call.
Ms. Rosanich?
Yes.
Ms. Sheehan?
Yes, motion carries 2-0. And we've already discussed 7105.
Just for a clear record, let's go ahead and have a motion to defer for 30 days on item number 2, just to keep it tied with the other one.
Okay,
For the record.
7105.
Yeah.
And one other thing that might be sort of going hand in hand with Mr. Linden, there was some discussion at the end about, I think Luigi was asking, what if we get it done sooner? And the response was, you go out, you get the permit, start working. But that, of course, sort of brings into play what we just discussed with Mr. Linden. So certainly, I think, as you guys have done before, would be to defer it for 30 days. Then the question becomes if Mr. Cagnina applies for the permit in the meantime, he's got two choices, or there's potentially two paths, right? Path number one is Ashley's going to get it and say can't do anything until the board takes action. Or alternatively, right now you could sort of forward-facing, issue some sort of limited duration permit on that. It's up to you guys. Just
On 7105.
On 7105, correct.
Okay. So, yeah, he may be wanting to come in for a permit on that.
I just don't know how quickly they're going to do it.
And then I don't know how long they're gonna
We're
need
waiting
on
for
that
the
permit, you know what I mean?
So if, just kind of thinking out loud here, if you wanted, if they got it down quickly enough or got it figured out quickly enough that they could apply for a permit, you could issue, or by motion now, order the building department that if applied for, only issue a 30-day permit.
That would probably.
And then we can just deal with it then at the
Moving.
July meeting, you can come in and
Right.
say, hey, we're good,
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah,
And if
I
not,
like it
then-
that way, if they are getting moving,
Mhm.
we're slowing them down. So Donna, that would be on 7105 West
30
128th
days.
Avenue.
30-day for 7105?
30-day deferral, 30-day
And 30
building, or
days.
30-day
Yeah.
permit.
30-day permit.
30-day
deferral.
permit. And a 30-day deferment?
Deferral and
Deferral.
permit,
And,
in the case they would come in and apply for
okay.
it.
All right, so I motion for a 30-day deferral and the 30-day demo permit. No.
No, that one's building.
Just building permit.
That one's building, not demo. That's okay.
Sorry.
So, okay, I'll second that motion for a 30-day permit and a 30-day deferral. Roll call?
Ms. Rosanich?
Yes.
Ms. Sheehan?
Yes. Motion carries 2-0.
That one I have a question.
So, now we're on to just updates, and I think, does anybody know where Shane's Bar and Grill is?
Yes, I do.
I have an update on that one. They have contracted with an attorney to work through the preliminary plat site plan, and the discussions have currently turned to a PUD rezone for that property that, from the sounds of it, there's going to be an extensive amount of variances that would be needed, so it was
So they're gonna
discussed.
be before everybody else for a while.
So it was discussed just making it into a PUD instead of doing BZA and Plan Commission and potentially Town Council. So it's now just gonna go through Plan Commission and Town Council. They're working with their attorney and engineering firm to get all that plans together. Once they got everything together in a preliminary, site plan, preliminary plat, and preliminary PUD package, they're gonna get that all to me with an application. So that's kind of where that's at. I'm waiting on
At
their
least it's
professional.
totally going forward.
That's the update I have on that one.
Okay, and I don't know, 8816 West 141st, I mean, that's done, right?
Yes and no. The heavy
Legal.
lifting is done. We are still waiting on the bill of costs so we can get a lien against the property.
Okay.
So that's why it needs to stick
Just stay
around
on
the update.
update, okay. And 12901 Hilltop Wamberger,
It is on the list to be demolished. I am working with
Oh, that-
him on when those happen. Same thing with 6599 Fernwood, 14021 Windsor, 7020 West 139th, and 7109 West 146th.
okay, so those are all just waiting, and then 7424 West 140th Place, that was sold, correct?
The Graves property went through the tax sale process with the new owner, Wintering LLC. We communicated with Wintering's attorney. They went out and did some work on the garage. Whether that work was kosher or not, it might be a different story. But I think the garage is in a condition now that it is okay. Is that accurate?
Unsightly.
It's not unsafe.
Not
is it?
unsightly.
Is it unsafe?
We don't know. Haven't been inside it.
Okay.
The new owners won't let you in?
We haven't,
They've never turned in a building permit for it, so we were never able to go and do any type of inspection after they did the work too.
Well, hopefully nobody's living in it any longer.
I don't believe so. They went through a quiet title action. Everything, I think that action's still ongoing actually, but everything we know, Ms. Graves is now residing in Illinois.
Okay.
As I indicated to you last month, we had filed a motion for summary judgment. Ms. Graves failed to timely respond to that within the 30 days as is required. We since tendered a motion to the court, which the court has entered. All of her litigation against the town is now disposed of,
Okay.
and there's no longer any real legal matters with Sheila Graves.
With that, okay, well, that's good.
So the only question then is whether unsightly can be, well, no longer unsightly means no longer unsafe, or still unsafe and just not unsightly.
we just need to look at what they
Right.
repaired, how.
So would we,
what they did.
have we tried to reach them, Ashley?
They've not had any contact with me. I can reach out to them, see if we can't set up some type of site inspection.
Yeah. Then maybe we
If
can
you have
actually get it
difficulties,
off,
let me know.
be done with it.
I think it was getting a permit though, to do something.
Wintering LLC has bought a bunch of properties. The individual behind it has bought a lot of properties.
Okay, so they're ones swooping in.
He knows what he's doing. He may or may not have a JD after his name as well, so.
All right, well, we'll try reaching out anyway.
I know who his attorney is, so let me know.
Okay. And West 127th Lane?
Waiting on being demolished.
Okay. All right, so that's where we're at for today, public comment.
I
Becky?
actually have something. A anonymous individual came to me with a large concern about a house that potentially has no water, no electricity, very unsafe, with an individual living in it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow, I know you're gonna say that.
The address they gave me was 14717 Lee Street. 14717 Lee Street. I would like your permission to go ahead and ask Tony to go ahead and take a look at that property.
Yes.
I didn't look that one up. I can take a look on GIS and see what the record says.
Oh, we just got rid of the
Right.
number 2 on the update.
According to Lake County GIS, it's a Mary Fisher.
Yeah, she's there, she has electricity, she has power, water.
Yeah.
I take care of her every day.
Okay, so this is right next door to you?
Right next door to me.
Okay, yeah, you go over
She
there.
mows her grass, she walks my dog. I see her lights on, she has lights on outside on the garage.
She's got running water?
Well, I never asked her, but. Well, how do you bring that up? Can I borrow a pot of water? Yeah. Oh, my kitchen is demoed, maybe I'll, all right, I don't know what.
It was just
I mean,
a report that came in.
The report should probably be
It should be.
investigated.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gonna be mortified.
Have you been in the house?
On her death, I didn't go into her house, my husband's in, but he hasn't been in there in a while. I know her sister and brother-in-law were staying with her for a week to clean out, her health is kind of declining. I haven't been in the house, so now I have to invite myself in and ask for a glass of water. Oh, she'll be mortified, she's lived there all her life, I mean,
Well,
60
if she's,
years, I mean.
if her health is failing and the place is truly unsafe to live in, then we have to.
Okay, my husband and I will go over, my husband and I go over and check it out?
I'm not the board, I don't know.
Oh, I am, you know. I don't know, what do you want to do?
The-
What would the legality of that be?
The unsafe premises report needs to be completed by Tony or his S&E. You can certainly investigate
Okay,
for your own purposes. I mean, we have board members that are up here saying, I know this property, I know that property, so you can bring your own personal insights when, whatever happens. But if Tony comes back and says it's not unsafe, then that's the end of it. But if he comes back and says it is unsafe, then that's a whole different can of worms that involves different discussions, some of which you could probably have with her. I don't know your relationship with this individual, whether you
Yeah, I
want to
don't
mention
personally
that
know her.
or not.
yeah, we've been neighbors for 22 years, yeah.
I mean, it's up to you if you want to mention it. Obviously, it's a
I'll
public
talk to
meeting.
my husband, he'll go over there.
Otherwise, Tony will have to go there to take some pictures and to look around and just see what's going on. And he's looked at properties and he comes back to us and said they're perfectly fine, right? They're not unsafe. Maybe they're unsightly, but they're not unsafe. So those are two different distinctions. But usually when these types of concerns are called in, at least we need to do our due diligence.
Right, that's what I feel, I have to do what's right and legal. You feel bad, like, great. If somebody's got concern like that, you don't know if it's just a nasty neighbor or if it's a true concern.
Yeah. We also have no idea what the basis for that concern is.
Right.
Maybe it's somebody speculating, maybe somebody knows
Well, you have to be
something.
sick, how would someone know if they don't have electricity or water when you see the lights on at night? Doesn't make
I
sense
have
to me.
no idea.
Well, clearly there's electricity.
Right.
All I know is we've talked about migratory birds tonight, so anything can happen when we're in these meetings.
These are the most interesting meetings, trust me.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I'm just gonna have to say, Tony, you have to check it out when you get a chance.
Okay.
That would be my direction. Public comment. Any other public comment? All right, public comment is over. Meeting is adjourned at 6:32 PM. Thank you all for attending.